Ha! Good morning. Had a little bit of technical difficulties this morning. You're on the Success Secrets for Business, Family, and Life channel. This is the Coffee Break Show. I'm Vickie Helm. I'm so glad you joined us. This has been brought to you by Metadime Digital Network. I have this crazy piece of hair today that I'm very self-conscious of. It just will not lay down, and just there we go. There we go. We got it to lay down a little bit. I'm so glad you're here. Today is going to be an excellent day. I've had kind of an epiphany. I saw something that was happening, and I thought to myself, why do we like to vilify people? Why do we like to do that? And I noticed around the world that we feel there's so much vilifying of people. There's vilifying political parties. There's vilifying wealthy people. There's vilifying other people's success. We are going into some of these toxic thinking habits today, and we're going to talk about how to turn them around so that you can turn around your prosperity and wealth. And this is what we're going to cover on the Coffee Break Show today. And we're going to start that right now in 3, 2, 1. Thank you. I want you to know it has been a busy morning this morning. The creative ideas have been going around, and there was a lot of conversation that I noticed for people. And thank you for coming on. If you're new to this show, I should do this. If you've never been here before, this is the Coffee Break Show. We go live Monday through Friday, and we share tips, tools, techniques, inspiration, motivation, and those things that are going to help you create thrivability in your life. And today we are talking about some of the ways we keep ourselves from creating that thrivability. And one of the things is we love to vilify other people. I don't know, we look at success of other people, and for some reason we've noticed here that when you achieve a certain level of success, you go from being an achiever and successful to somebody that starts to be vilified because you're not giving enough or not doing enough or not working enough, etc. And I wonder, when we say those things, if we're actually just projecting. We're projecting onto the world, and we're saying, well, you're not doing enough, giving enough. And how did I come by this? Yesterday, we had this fabulous guest on the Coffee Break Show. Her name is Tracy Rebchek, and I told you we're going to be talking about her today because she was so awesome. But she did something. She said, I finally did something I've wanted to do all my life since I was started out in business and was a little girl, and she wanted to have her dream. You know how some people have a dream? They want a big house, they want a big car, they want a big this. She finally bought herself a Rolls Royce, and she deserved it. She has worked so hard and done so much and she's built over 200 jobs this year for people that are thriving. I mean, this is somebody who's really done a lot of work. So she bought herself a Rolls Royce, and it's really gorgeous, and it looks like a super fun car. It's no different than, some guys like Lamborghinis and women like Rolls Royces. She put a picture of herself up there, and she said, finally did it, finally got my Lamborghini. And what ended up happening yesterday is that even though she had worked so hard to get this, she put a picture of herself leaning on the car that she earned, not that was given to her, that she earned. And there were so many women that were mad. Women that were yelling at other women about achieving success. That didn't make sense to me. In fact, it kind of broke my heart. Hey, Robert Stern, nice to see you on, buddy. Glad you're here. And I kept thinking, why do we do that? Why do we vilify women when they go out and they get themselves a toy that they've earned? We're allowed to get jewelry. We're allowed to get expensive clothing, but it's not like men. Men are allowed, when they achieve success, to get the Lamborghini, to get the house, to get the airplane, to get the yacht, to get whatever they want. And we don't yell at them. We don't say, oh my gosh, that is terrible that you got that. You could have done this and this and this and this. We let men have their toys. In fact, there is a saying right now that, is pretty old. It's for guys, and it's he who dies with the most toys wins. Remember that? It was very popular back in the late 80s, early 90s. He who dies with the most toys wins. It's like okay for men to have stuff and things. But when a woman earns stuff and things, she got annihilated by other women about how, and she was very clear. She just got, they just pummeled her for having that. And I thought afterwards, how cool was that? And I went and Susie, one of our club members, put her picture up with the Rolls Royce on our site so we could see it. I wanted to see the Rolls Royce. And I was like, how cool is that? But then the same thing happened. Underneath that, there were other women vilifying her for what she did not do with her money, what they thought she didn't do with their money. And the thing is, Tracy is such a philanthropist. She probably gives more in a year than most people make in a lifetime. That's how much she's done. And she provides jobs and she works like that. And I thought, why do we vilify each other's success? Because you realize you stop your success the second you vilify someone else's. Because later you're not going to be the one who wants to be vilified for your success. We love to vilify others because it gives us a false sense of self-esteem. It's like we feel righteous inside because, well, at least I would have done with this with the money. You don't know what you would have done with the money. You haven't earned it yet. When you get to the point where you're earning multi-millions and you're creating hundreds and hundreds of jobs, and people start disrespecting you in how you're working so hard to put all these things together to make the world better, it kind of feels disappointing. It's like, imagine your son or daughter coming to you and saying, Mommy, I drew this picture for you. And you're like, yeah, well, you could have done this better and that better. And this isn't in the right place and everything else. You just feel completely criticized. Well, that's no different than what these people do right now in the world when they're working together to make that world perfect or better or do something that's better. And everybody just is like an armchair bully. They sit and they type stuff that's terrible and hurtful and mean. Why? What does that do for you? What does that do for you to treat somebody like that? What do you get out of discounting somebody else's success? How does that discount your success? How does that get you to the point where you're actually, not wanting to succeed because you're worried about being bullied exactly how you bully others? It's such an interesting thing because we don't think there are people that are bullying like that. You guys are talking real fast, so I'm going to jump up here. Good morning. Welcome to the family. I'm so glad to see you. Hey, Robert, glad you're there. MJ, hugs from everybody. Robert, anyone is allowed to get what they want if they earned it. That's right. And nobody should be able to tell you what to do with the money. And I know this place. I know people every month. I give money away every single month. We pick every single year what charities matter to us at the beginning of the year. It's part of our yearly gifting that we do, period. And of course, there's this stuff that you give to family and family gives to you. But every single year at the beginning of the year, Robin and I already have planned giving as part of our year. That just is it. Planned giving. And so when you have that, it's like you're allowed to say what charity you want your money to go to. I want to say for my birthday this year, Karen donated some money to my favorite charity, enough money to rescue one of the children that was there as my birthday present. And I thought, man, what a great birthday present. I saved one child from sex trafficking today. Yes, that's great. And so when you get your goals in there, wealthy people give more than poor people do. That's just a fact of life. Wealthy people give more than poor people do. And here's the fact. If you're worried about giving, then get wealthy, because you know what? When you have more money, you can do more good. And it's not for anybody else to go, well, I would do more good than that. Well, great. Then why don't you go earn that money right now and go do your more good? Go out there and step that up and go do that more good. Anybody has that opportunity to win. Anyone is allowed to get what they want if they've earned it, and they can share it as they want, as it's earned. And that's just how that is. That is something that's so important to do. And when you're wealthy, a lot of times you like to give because you get a tax write-off for it, to it as well. You can give to your favorite charity and not have to give so much to the government. And actually, these people working in these charities that you support do a lot of good, and they depend on us to do that. And so to me, it's like we are so busy vilifying. Why do we vilify? I want to go to this morning. Good morning, people. Good morning. People of either gender get to get whatever they want that makes them happy. Yes, that's true. And Jane, you know what the thing is, there's so many people right now that feel like, you know, women shouldn't want these things that men want. They shouldn't want their own airplane. Oprah has an airplane. What's wrong with owning an airplane? Look at how many jobs she's created. Look at all the good she's done in the world. Look at all the things they give away. And she bought herself an airplane. Why? Because it saves her time. And if you've ever rode in a junky car from one place to one place to one place, and then rode in a luxury car, it helps you physically stay healthier when you have a luxury car. You're not so beat up when you get there, and then suddenly you're on stage. And I think it's okay for people to enjoy the things they have and earned in their life. And it's okay even if they don't want to share their money. It's their money. It's like right now, how much of your money do you give away every month? How much charity do you give away every month? And when you do that, you want to do that of the goodness of your heart, not because you're afraid to be bullied. People can guide people on how their expertise is used if asked. However, too many people offer their opinion when they are not asked for it. Yes, that's true. Some people think that their job is to criticize or find mistakes or they can't do the thing. They can't write the book or write the report or make the building or do the website, but they can go, oh, I don't like those colors. And ooh, look, there's a spelling mistake over there. And oh, look at that over there. They actually look to find criticism in the work done. They can never say a job well done. They can't actually say, this is really good. This is far better than anything I've ever read, seen, or done, or do. They can't even admit to themselves when something is good. They can only vilify the person who's creating that success. It's a habit. It's a toxic habit in this country to do that to each other. Why? Hey, Stephen, nice to see you on. You know, I love your comments. Hi, Vickie. I'm trying not to speak ill of anyone, but yet you are so right. Many try to vilify others. I love and appreciate to see people grow and become successful. Yes, and that, I got to admit, Stephen, that's one of the things that I like about you. You have always uplifted other people. That's all I've ever seen you do. And that's so important. When you uplift somebody, even if it's somebody who's the highest high, if you say, man, you've done such a good job, it makes them want to do more. Even Steve Jobs, even Bill Gates, it doesn't matter how successful you get. When you get an authentic, thank you for your service to the world, that makes you want to do more service to the world. Thank you for everything you've done in the world. That makes you want to work harder, want to work better, want to work more. Those simple words right there. And I appreciate that, Stephen, because you are the man who does that in the world more than anybody I've ever seen. I have no problem with knowing who I am and liking the picture. That's right. If you truly love yourself, then you are happy for other people when they succeed. When you are truly in love with yourself and what you're doing and what your life is, you are happy for others when they have their cool thing that they're doing, when they have their cool idea and you're like, yes, I love that idea. Go do it. When I talk to my entrepreneur friends, and let's just say we're just having a drink or something, a cup of coffee, and they're like, this is my idea and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I love hearing that. I'm like, this will make the world better and that'll make the world better. And that's a great idea. That'll make the world better. There's more jobs, more this, more that. It's like you can either be toxic and bitter and vilify, or Solve the problems in the world. Solve the problems in the world. Put yourself out there on that line and do what a lot of other people do. Solve the problems in the world. Exactly. You stop your success when you vilify other people's success. How could one expect to be successful and get the things they want if they vilify others who are having success? You cut off the stream. Yes, I want to let you know I added people in there myself because I like that. Scott says, don't guys adorn themselves with these trinkets to get the women? All the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. That's all I'm saying. Put your hands up. There we go. I like this world is full of angry people. They're operating from a sense of lack. Yes, it's so sad that this happens because there's more opportunity right now in this world than we had in 1928, in 1900, in 1950, in 1940. We have more tools at our fingertips for free to create whatever we want. And I think those people who vilify, they blame and excuse their way out of having to face why they aren't living the life they want to live. And these people are. And if you guys want to check out yesterday's show, there's the link to it. Let's see. This is, Robert, this is so true. Jealousy and bullying at its worst. People downgrade your advances because of their own dissatisfaction of their own life. Simon Cowell told a child once on America's Got Talent stage this: it is the worst form of compliment, meaning you have something special they don't have. On this case, the ability to work for what they have. That's so important. I mean, we say it to our kids, but it's true for adults. There are some adults who are walking around who think they're actually smart and educated and really with it, who are just completely disconnected. And they don't understand that they have this little, 16-year-old, 15-year-old inside, and that's how they act from that age forward. And they don't understand. They want to bully their way and be jealous or, I want to let you know, Christina Aguilera went through that. They bullied her for being as good as she was. And she really knew she was. And here's the thing. When women are confident, the world doesn't like it. The world does not like a confident woman who is succeeding and achieving, who is out there doing it. I mean, if we take a look at some of the things that have been said about the women who are in politics, we know that those women that are high achievers are completely bullied, belittled, vilified, and really dismissed by the world. Really dismissed. Now, over here, wealthy people have more money to give, and they do. Yes, wealthy people give more money than broke people do. That's how it is. And if you're complaining about the wealthy not giving enough, why don't you go get wealthy so you can give some more and make up for what they're not giving? Why don't you go out there and do that? And when you do that, you'll find out that, whoa, I make a lot of money and I can give some more. And just achieving that kind of success means that you're stepping up to the plate and doing more. Here, Robin, I've never understood why people transferred their jealousy into vilification. Well, we've done that for years. We're blaming lack of wealth. And this is, I learned from Robert Kiyosaki, and I want to really give credit where this is done, because in one of his books, and I think he's got 4, I can't remember which one it is, but he says the tax code was written for the rich. And here's the thing. Everybody has access to this tax code. It's free. If you do exactly what the tax code says, you don't pay any taxes. And he says that's how it's made, but it's made for everybody. Everybody in the United States, all across this country. If you want to be wealthy, then the entrepreneurial route is how you get super wealthy and you get to the point where you can be inside our tax code or whatever else and use it to your gain. It's to your benefit. And we have to start getting really responsible. You chose to have a job. You chose to get the job. You chose to go to college. You're the one that put yourself in that system. You're allowed to put yourself in any system you want. You can put yourself in the system where you're working a job, or you can put yourself in the system where you're self-employed. You can put yourself in the system where you build a company. You can put yourself in the system where you become an investor. Those are all the things you're allowed to do. It's not just some people who are allowed to do it. Everybody is. And those people who are getting wealthy because they understand how money works, they understand and they've learned, they've educated themselves in how to do that, and they make a lot of money. That's everybody's entitled to that. You can go on YouTube and learn it for free. This isn't like a trap you're in where you're stuck in this position and that's the only way you're going to get out. Rich people have worked for their money. Now, yes, there are some people that are, trust fund babies, but there are more self-made millionaires in the world than there are trust fund babies. And wow, you guys are saying a lot. I'm so sorry. Let's go over here. It seems it is a much bigger issue, a societal pressure created by society, norms created by false standards. There was a point in the world where the original founder of communities were women. It all changed. Yes, it's interesting how women really, really, really devalue themselves. I mean, oh my gosh, they backstab each other. Low self-esteem and the crab theory. Women need to come together and unite and have an idea that it is okay for a woman to be wealthy, 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 wealthy. Get as rich as you can, as rich as you can, because you can help more people. You can take care of yourself. You can leave a legacy. You can do so much good when you're wealthy. Period. And it's not but don't let anybody else be that armchair. Well, if I was you, I'd give more money here and I would do that. Well, you haven't done that. If I was, then go do it. Go do what she's done. And then ask yourself if I would have done this or I would do that. It's something that's got to be a little more, less armchair quarterbacking from that place. It's always easier to look outside of ourselves. Looking inward is far harder. Yes, it is. I'm guilty of that as well. Yet the rewards are so much greater. Yes, they are. That's where the money and the juice is. See right here. Robert, keyword is earned. Yes, we all may choose to spend our resources, time, money, etc. any way we want. Yes, it has to be that women are allowed to come up because there's more money. We're only working at half our capacity right now. Men are allowed to achieve. Women, there are some ceilings that haven't been broken. And in some countries, there's not even equality for women. So can you see that women are 50% of the world? 50% of the world. That means we're only working at half our capacity if women are not up here with you. And when we get to the point when women and men are together, their partnerships, they understand how to work together, there is so much abundance to be had. There is so much joy to be shared. There is so much goodness that can be created. There's so much opportunity that'll fly. There won't be such stress where men have to go out and come home enslaved by their jobs. And, it'll be so vastly different. There's so much opportunity right now. Let's see right here. Unfortunately, negativity is the predominant attitude on the earth. Yes, that is the thing that we battle. That's the thing that needs to be transformed in our heart. We actually think that negative thinking is logical. We think it's logical to say to somebody, I would have spent the money over here. I wouldn't have bought that thing. That's wasteful. We actually believe that thought. But you can't know that until you walk a mile in her shoes. You can't know that until you've done what she's done. You can't know that. And when you do believe that negativity, you are cutting yourself off from your own riches, from your own embodiment of abundance, from your own inward prosperity that you were born with. That is your birthright to have that prosperity. It's your birthright to have that abundance. We were not made to come down here and toil in pain and in slavery. Your mind tells you that. That's not what God created. If you look at this abundant world, if you just look at the forest, the leaves, the trees, everything, you look at that abundant world right now, you can see everything was created in abundance. Something is lying to you and telling you you can't be rich, or you shouldn't be rich, or you shouldn't be well off, or I'm a woman, I don't deserve, or I need a man to help me get all this abundance. I have to go husband shopping. Those things, no. You're allowed to be rich. And the more of us that are rich, the better. Going this way, true lack of self-love and confidence. Yes, it is. Yes, anyone can earn what they want. Yes, in this country, anyone can earn what they want. I don't want to say that for every country, but in this country, everyone can earn what they want. Stephen has a video there that you guys can see he made a year ago. Jealousy is not just for lovers. Bullying is not for the schoolyards. Tearing other people down is too common across all ages and genders. Amen to that. Now, what can we do about this? What can we do to help us stop doing that? I'm going to pop over here. It's an old ancient issue. Look at China's attitude towards females. Yes. There's great power in the being who is the gateway to life. Yes. Thank you for acknowledging that, Donnie. The paradox of one of the greatest wonders, the ability to give life, is also vilified. And instead of celebrating the divine vessel of life, it's all about power and has become insidious in society. And they are not even aware of their behaviors. Yes. They, the masses, that's what the they is, the masses. Yes, give of all resources, time, most valuable, money. I want to say time and money, they are the two most valuable right now. And I also want to look at this because I think these attitudes that Donnie was talking about, these are the things that are holding up women. These are the things that have been here for, looks like yugas, hundreds and hundreds of years. It's hard to think that that's going to change, but I think in this wave, it's going to change now. Society has us believe that a confident woman is an aggressive woman and a confident man is a trustworthy man. It gets worse when we play the race card. You are so right. You're so right. That is tough. Yes, it is. That is really where that becomes, weird. I'm hoping I live long enough to see a lady run for this country. Me too. Me too. I hope it's in my lifetime. Snap. Why block 50% of the population from participating in all facets? That's 50% of genius, ingenuity, creativity, 80% of love, respect, and discernment. Yes. When we take a look at that, these are the things that are all, it's like we are taught to vilify as a way of discernment. It's bad if they, it's bad if he, it's like we look at some things and at a certain point they get so big we start making it bad. Now I remember when Facebook first came out, nobody vilified him. They called him a genius. They loved Facebook. And now they vilify him. This guy has created thousands of new jobs, thousands of entrepreneurial ventures. And it's the same with Jeff Bezos. When he was in the garage and it was just him and he was building Amazon and he was there sleeping in his office, sleeping in his office. It's like when you work at home and you're trying to build your dream, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. I am never off the clock. I don't go home and drop everything and there's suddenly dinner and this. It's like when you're trying to do something great in the world, you have an obsession. It's literally obsessive to do something good, to make something great, to provide new jobs, new this, new that. You work endlessly at this, and it becomes your life. It doesn't become part of your day. A job is part of your day. You're going to put 2, 4, 6, 8 hours in, and then you're done. You shut it off. You're gone. You could sit and watch movies or Netflix or binge watch TV with 8 hours a day, not thinking about anything else if you have a job. If you have a dream and you're working towards it, you know that every single step you take on that dream, every single step that you work and hours you put in and failing forward and having your disappointments and having your victories, and it becomes part of everything that you do. It completely consumes and transforms you. It is being tempered in the fire, being tempered in the irons. It is being molded by the divine when you get to that point. You have to face the parts of you that you don't think are good, or that all the bad things you say about yourself or someone else. You have to learn how to work with people. There is this whole transformation that happens when you become an entrepreneur. And when we get to the point where we allow success for both sexes and all races, all colors, all orientations, when that happens, we will have opened the door to abundance. We will have been able to transcend and transform the entire world. And that's what I believe is happening now. We get to look at all the ugly stuff. We have to let women step up and achieve and be thankful for all the success people create. We have to be thankful for everything that women and men do for this planet that try to make things good. It's not going to be perfect, but if you're so mad at Bill Gates, if you're so mad at Jeff Bezos, if you're so mad at all these big corporate bullies, well, then get up and start your corporation, get your conscious business off the ground, and stand where you're doing something, not just sitting there vilifying someone else. I'm on my little tirade today. The crab theory, I can't have it. Neither can you. That's correct. And I promise I will always uplift you. I promise everyone out there, if you achieve a great level of success, I am going to celebrate you. I will always celebrate you. I will celebrate you even if you move way past where I am, or if you're creating something that's similar to mine, that might even be better than mine. Well, I'm going to celebrate you anyway, because I think every bit of goodness, all the good in the world needs to be rolled into one big ball of good. Just like there's one big ball of evil, there needs to be one big ball of good. And we need to bring all the good into one. All that good into one big pile of goodness in the world. Just like there's evil, there's goodness. And we want to focus and grow the goodness. And in order to grow the goodness, you have to see it. You have to understand it. You have to say, I want to be a part of it. And you have to stand up in it. That is going to be the biggest thing. You want to roll all the good, celebrate all the good in the world. Every time, if you vilify the good in the world stops showing up. Let's see. When I used to go crabbing with Gramps, learn that when catching crabs, you don't have to put the lid on the bushel, because as you put more crabs in the bushel, they pull each other down to the bottom as one reaches to escape. Interesting. Want to look here? If we truly look at every woman as our mother, our sister, the world would be different. But for some strange reason, a disconnect occurs and people forget the eyes of their mother. If we could all look at each other from the place of love, we would all celebrate each other's success. Yes, that could be a whole book right there. That paragraph right there. If we truly looked at every woman as a mother or our sister, the world would be different. But for some strange reason, a disconnect occurs and people forget the eyes of their mother. If you could all look at each other from the place of love, we would all celebrate each other's success. That's right. That's so beautiful. Thank you. MJ, as humans, it is a fallback emotion. We must choose a different path. You're right. We must choose a different path. Okay. I find a confident woman is assertive, and a woman who acts like a man is aggressive. I find a confident woman is assertive, and a woman who acts like a man is aggressive. I think a woman who acts like a woman, whether she has male tendencies, if you will, or a confident woman tendencies to be a woman. It's so interesting, Stephen, because I want to stay with this. If you put two dogs in front of you, two Labradors, and one is a black lab and the other is a brown lab, and you don't see their parts, they act like each other. A girl doesn't go, "Oh, don't throw the stick for me. That's not very ladylike, and I don't want to break my paws." She will go after that stick and run back and forth just like he does. And we never say that she's being aggressive like a man. We notice that she is expressing her dogginess. And her dogginess is, I like to swim. I like to smell stuff. I like to fetch a ball or a stick. I like to, wrestle and fight with my brother. She doesn't see herself as not being a confident woman or aggressive. She's being her dogginess. And sometimes I think there are men who would enjoy wearing a dress, and we vilify them for wearing a dress. And there are the point where women can wear dresses and suits and we're okay. Men, no way. Men, if you wear a dress, you are a freak of nature. And somehow that mentality is like, is he confident if he wears a dress? Well, it's the same with a woman. Confident women, assertive women, there's no aggressive women. There's just, that's an expression of their womanness. Just their womanness, however that is. And I remember when I was younger, I was raised by my dad. My dad, he had us boxing, and with him, because my dad was that Golden Gloves kind of guy. And for some reason, he wanted me to be able to beat the crap out of my date if I had to. If I went on a date, my dad had to be confident that I could beat him up if I needed to. And so he had us boxing like this and learning how to box. And when I became a cop, I remember that was the first time I felt like it was okay for me to be athletic. It was okay for me to be good at fighting. It was okay for me because I needed it in that position. But what I notice around where I live is that the fathers teach their daughters like their son. These girls know how to hunt. They know how to hike. They know bushcraft. They know everything that they need to know. And I think molding women over here and men over here, I just think that is not the way to go. We are human beings. And I think that the gender fight between everybody, this is woman's work and this is man's work, I think that's crazy. We now have women fighter pilots. We now have women who are, we have race car drivers. We have women that are black belt artists. We have women that could be Navy SEALs. Women are rising up beyond these things that say we are men and we are women and the two shall not meet. I think there are not Mars and Venus. I think there's human to human, human to human. And for me, that's the future, the human to human thing. If we raise up humanity as a whole, abundance lies there. I think when we differentiate each other, yes, there are times I'm like, honey, will you open this jar? And there's somebody else has to open it for me because, wow, I just don't have that muscle in my arm anymore. But I just think we want to be together with this. Oh my gosh, it's almost an hour I've been on this tirade. A Bezos ex-wife has given $1 billion away this year. She has made a vow to give all her money away to charities before her death. Now that is a cool goal. That's a really cool goal. Outside of the family trust fund, I want to have that. All right, you guys, I love to do this. I love to celebrate others because I understand the work it takes to get there. Yes, me too. We're at the way end of you missed my point. I think I missed his point, and that is okay. Ooh, I want to know your point now. And if I missed the point, please give me some clarity, even type it in afterwards because I want to know what it is. Let's see. One more. How sad that a woman can't be a person with human emotions and behaviors. I disagree with that. I think a woman can. She might get a little crap with it, but everybody comes with that. You're born with human emotions and behaviors. Everyone is. Just simple. And it's whether we want to embrace them or not. Let's see. Generous superstar. Thank you. I want to know what this is because I always love your points. And if I missed it, I really want to get that point back. All right, you guys, thanks for letting me be on the show with you today. Let's make more praise for each other. We'll get it on the replay. Thank you. Let's lift each other up. Let's make it a thing that we continue adoring people and their success and being positive about sharing success with the world, lifting each other up, going out there and having, praise for people. I want to let you know that Stephen does this positivity thing. And when he does the positivity thing, you guys watch how he does it. It's really cool. And if we all did that for each other, yeah, that would be a great world. I want to end with this right here. Pink was a man's color, blue was a woman's color, and all changed during the Victorian era. Now it's the opposite. Before great change, Democrats stood for one on side and Republicans on the other side. We have forgotten our stories, our history. And when that happens, we are malleable. I'm sorry, I have to read that again. Pink was a man's color, blue was a woman's color, and all changed during the Victorian era. Now it is the opposite. Before the great change, Democrats stood on one side and Republicans on the other. We've forgotten our stories, our history. And when that happens, we are malleable. We're moldable. Yeah, we can be moldable, hopefully. Thank you for letting me have this today. I really want to say thank you to everybody who stuck their neck out and said something. And hey, there we go. Thank you. There are assertive people and aggressive people. I love and appreciate assertive people and avoid aggressive people. I'm with you now. I'm with you. Man or woman, we are the same. We are great. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that for me. I totally agree with you on that one. Thank you for sharing that. There are assertive people and aggressive people. Aggressive people are kind of bullyish. Assertive people have boundaries. Yes, I'm with you now. I am so with you. I love and appreciate assertive people. Me too, because boundaries are good to have. Yeah. And avoid aggressive people. Me too. I don't like bullies. I don't like to be bullied or bullies. Man or woman, we are the same. We are great. Stephen, thank you for showing up for me. And I love understanding you differently. I love understanding your point because it's always so strong and always so valuable. You guys, thank you for being here today with me. Let's go out and show a little positivity and success in the world. Mwah! Peace out. It's Friday tomorrow. So Scott's going to be on and we're going to have fun. I'll see you then. Bye.